prescribe or it's just ordered by your medical doctor and it's ultimately, diagnosed. However, because your brain will never allow your muscles to become stronger than your bones, the muscles naturally become weaker as we age and harder to maintain that strength. So if you look here, this is a picture of the inside of a 30-year-old bone, this picture here on the left. And here's the same bone at the age of 50. You can tell the difference. The one at the age of 50 is quite a bit thinner. So it becomes weaker because it's thinner on the inside. And when the bones get weak, your muscles get weak as well. So as you start to become weaker in your muscular and ligaments and tendons in your joint structures, there are a whole host of symptoms that can be attributed to a weakening bone density. So here's a list: back pain and joint pain, loss of flexibility and joint motion, nerve damage simply because there's a lot more strain, loss of reaction time, change in posture, decreased balance, and loss of strength. And ultimately, a person can end up with a diagnosis of osteopenia or osteoporosis if too much bone density is lost. So what is osteoporosis exactly? Well, osteoporosis is a disease. It's diagnosed and characterized by loss of bone mass, leading to fragile bones that break easily. Now, as we already discussed, bone is living tissue. It goes through a continual process of remodeling where old bone is removed and replaced by new bone. Healthy bone, on the left here again, is nice and strong. It holds us up, it protects our internal organs, supports our biological processes, and when muscles contract and relax, bones help us move around. And we just covered a lot of things that can affect bone tissue, causing it to lose density and possibly become osteoporotic, which is what this picture on the right is. You can see that the bone on the right is thinner, and you can just imagine that it won't hold up to all that we might expect it to do. We frequently hear about people sneezing and ending up with a broken bone, or walking and a hip kind of gives out. So if you compare the two pictures, you can absolutely see why that might happen. So is osteoporosis a problem? It is actually an epidemic in this country. 70% of people with osteoporosis have not been screened, so they're not even aware they have the disease. In fact, many people are ultimately diagnosed with osteoporosis after they suffer from a fracture. 1 out of every 2 women and 1 out of every 4 men over the age of 50 are at risk for osteoporosis, low bone density, and will suffer a fracture. Osteoporosis, it's a life-altering disease, and it is a major public health problem in this country. Most recent estimates, the cost of treatment for osteoporosis and osteoporotic fractures is billions of dollars. That doesn't take into account the loss of quality of life, which in my mind is the most expensive part. Every 20 seconds, somebody in this country has a preventable fracture due to bone mass. So during our time together today, approximately an hour, 180 Americans will have a preventable fracture. It is an epidemic. Osteoporosis and fracture are a major public health concern in this country, and many initiatives, including Osteoporosis Awareness Month, every May, are taking place to help bring awareness of this condition. It affects more women than breast cancer, stroke, and heart attack combined. We must all make bone health and osteoporosis prevention a priority. It affects men and women from all racial groups and absolutely robs people of their independence and quality of life. But the good news is that osteoporosis is very preventable once you know what to do, and now treatable. Today is a great day to start taking action that will improve your bone health for a lifetime.